Hi, and welcome on the road with Bobby Halton, and we're live again here from FDIC 2008. Thanks for tuning in. We got a great interview here for you in the next few minutes. A good friend of mine, Mike Dubron from the Firefighter Cancer Support Network, and Mike's also a helicopter firefighter medic in Los Angeles. He's out there doing the job every day, and he's also a cancer survivor. By the way, Mike also won Best Dressed this year for FDIC. His pinstripe three-piece. Just kidding. Mike.
That's okay.
God bless and welcome back again to On the Road with Bobby
Thank
Halton.
goodness.
You look wonderful.
Well, thank you, Bobby. I guess thank goodness for wives that take care of us,
That's
right? And buy our
right.
clothes.
That's right.
Well,
That's
thanks,
right.
Bobby. It's great to be here again, and FDIC is what a wonderful event. Everybody should come here and see this. A great turnout again, and we're honored not only to visit you this year, but to be exhibiting the Firefighter Cancer Support Network and sharing our program with firefighters across the nation.
So tell us a little bit about the network, Mike. What's the network do for guys and gals out there, firefighters who may have or who believe they might be potentially have a cancer?
Well, what we do, Bobby, is when a firefighter, active, retired, paid career or volunteer, they contact our organization, a toll-free phone number that's staffed 24 hours a day, and they can call up and say, hey, look, me, my wife, we've been diagnosed with this form of cancer, and looking for a little bit of guidance. And what we do is we have a database of cancer survivors who are there to help them, walk them through the process, being initially diagnosed and the fears that are involved, because our firefighting community, we think we're in control, and this alpha mentality we have, and then when a diagnosis of cancer comes along, we realize that we're not. And being able to talk to somebody that's been there and done that is a huge resource. Some of the other things we're working on the program right now, we are working on educational materials to get that information out there, that how we can better take care of ourselves as firefighters, maintaining our equipment and prolonging our lives, the importance of our wellness exams and proper medical screenings and cancer screenings.
Oh, that's outstanding. So when someone believes that they may have a cancer, what should they do if they want to contact the Cancer Support Network?
Well, they can call us on our toll-free phone number, which is 866-994-FCSN, or they can go on our website, which is www.firefightercancersupport.org, and put in a request for assistance, and they'll be immediately responded to.
And you guys can give them all kinds of support, all kinds of help,
Absolutely.
in the right direction.
Absolutely, and we have a wellness coordinator that establishes all that support. And for those that are newly diagnosed, we send them what's called our toolbox, and it's got has note-taking material in it, specific information about their type of cancer to kind of help guide them through the process.
You know, what happens, Mike, is that a lot of people believe that all cancer is hereditary, and that's just not true. Cancer can come from outside agents, smoke, carcinogens. When you and I first came on the job, we used to roll around in people's blood. You'd come back from a car accident or a shooting or a stabbing, and you'd have people's blood on you, and you wouldn't think. But now we know about AIDS and hepatitis and all the bloodborne stuff. A lot of firefighters don't understand today it's the same thing with soot. Soot, smoke, all the products of combustion are carcinogenics.
That's right.
And the amazing thing to me is that men and women in the fire service will go out to fire after fire, have their bunker gear absolutely contaminated with gosh knows what,
Right.
and then take it home sometimes, wear it into their very homes or into the bunk room.
Sure.
Not understanding that physical contact with those products can be just as dangerous. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct, and that's the part of the fire service that we're trying to make a dent in trying to teach our guys. And we see already some positive responses in people changing their ways. I know my department, you don't see the bunker or turnout gear in the living spaces anymore, no longer putting your gear next to your bed. We try to preach the importance of maintaining that gear. Our department has a cleaning service available to us, so we have 2 sets of turnouts that we can go and get in our reserve set while the other's professionally being cleaned. Some departments have the ability to launder themselves, but obviously we don't mix those gear with personal clothing items. The importance of coming back from a fire where even though you might have the best turnout gear possible, you still have some sort of absorption, maybe into your skin and so forth. When you come back from a fire and you blow, you sneeze or have those sooty mucus, you want to take a shower and get rid of all that stuff before you climb back into bed.
Now, what's the most predominant cancer for men in the fire service, and then also for women? What do we think it? And I know the data might not be there, but what do you think it is?
Well, what do I think causes it, or the four types
Well,
of
what
cancer?
is it, and what do you think is?
Well, the four types of cancer from the University of Cincinnati study, which you can pick off our website, states that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, testicular, multiple myeloma, and let's see, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, multiple myeloma, testicular, and prostate cancer, excuse me, is the four big ones that we see in the males in the fire service. And again, we really don't have the answers to why. We can only summarize that it's these contacts and exposures that lead to these things. Obviously, researchers work diligently on trying to find not only the answers to what causes it, but also the cure.
Now, I know you deal with the cures and the emotional aftermath and things of that nature with the foundation and your work with the Cancer Support Network. What about legislation? I know Illinois has presumptive for cancer. I believe San Francisco does as a city, but does the state of California?
State of California, where I'm from, fortunately does have a presumptive law for covering all forms of cancer. So, for instance, in my case, my colorectal cancer was deemed to be job-related, so therefore it was picked up as a job-related illness. There are many states, and you can go to the website again for that information of what states have either full or partial legislation supporting presumptive laws protecting their firefighters, and those states that unfortunately do not have anything. And there's at those state levels, we surely support their efforts to get legislation to support their firefighters in this much-needed area.
Yeah, it absolutely needs to be a national initiative. The numbers are much higher for us, right, Mike? Isn't that is the truth?
That's the truth, unfortunately, and that's why we need to get this education out there to our firefighters about taking better care of yourselves. And if you do end up being diagnosed with cancer, hopefully it's an early diagnosis and early detection, which is huge. That's
Well, that brings up a really important question. When should the male firefighters start with digitals and colonoscopies and other exams that
Sure.
generally, the men are uncomfortable with, and we all understand the humor of it. But this is deadly serious.
It's very serious, and for those that feel uncomfortable in going those types of exams, I tell you, is a minor inconvenience as to what could coming down the road.
And you know exactly
Absolutely.
what we're speaking about.
Absolutely. So what the general community says is the average male and female should have a colonoscopy at the age of 50. If there's family history, they need to understand and seek their medical provider to get a better understanding. But for me, I was diagnosed at age 39 with my colorectal cancer. So the indications are for my children to be checked starting at the age of 29. So 10 years prior to a date earlier than 50 is when you need to aggressively be checked. And for colorectal cancer, it's very, very beatable if detected early. And thank goodness for me, I just celebrated 5 years. The digital rectal exam, the DRE, which can be checking for prostate cancer in your PSA, that should be also started at age 50. But understanding too, if you have family history, when we fill out a medical questionnaire and we check those boxes, we should check them accurately, because that leads these medical professionals to ask further questions and do further detailed exams, which might be applicable to you, which might lead to early detection.
Well, you're doing great work, Mike, and remember, exams are important. Prevention, catch it early. You don't need to die from cancer anymore. Some cancers, unfortunately, are very, very tough, but most cancers can be beat. The fire service needs to be alert to this. It's in the smoke. It's in what we touch. It's everywhere we are. We must take care of ourselves. We have to get on top of this. If your state doesn't have presumptive legislation, get with your IAFF local, get with your local politicians, start working towards that. Go to the website, be informed, be prepared, be armed, shower, wash up after fires. Don't play with smoke. It's not cool. I don't even care if it's a test, a live burn.
Sure.
Clean up your gear, keep your gear clean, keep yourself clean, protect yourself, get to your pension, be safe, and remember, be careful out there. This is Bobby Halton. We're live on the road at FDIC with our good friend Mike Dubron. Be careful out there.